you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Jesse.
Hey.
To another deep dive show.
I know. And I'm back at my kitchen table again, sadly.
It's okay.
The studio is still under construction.
That's okay. Welcome to Deep Dive, where we deep dive into geocaching topics.
I almost think of this as the other show. That's really what it, in my mind, that's what it is.
That's for another show.
Yeah, this is actually that other show.
That's for another show.
Yep.
Show. That was suggested by Geocaching Vlogger, and I don't want to get too far off track, but I have a new item for the Cache Fest vault. So I'm going to show you what was given to me to put in the vault.
So something that's going to go into the vault. Oh.
I've got a signed
copy of it.
Autographed by the man himself, a copy of The Greatest Treasure by Rich and Joshua. And signed, autographed, and everything.
I have one of those myself.
So that also goes in the vault. Another item that we're putting in the vault. So let me go through with everyone our giveaway tonight. So if you'd like to be part of it, do what everyone is doing, and that is put in hashtag impossible, not Pizza Ninja, hashtag the other show. You can put that too. Of course, he can't win, so you can put whatever. You can hashtag.
Yeah,
you can hashtag whatever you want. Hashtag impossible. You can win if the giveaway tool selects you, because we don't select. We just let the tool do the work.
It's all rigged. Gary selects it. It's rigged.
All rigged.
That's the conspiracy I'm throwing out now.
It's a giveaway tool from StreamYard. I got guitars. I got the red, black, blue, and the oil dipped. I've got a couple bisons. I've got the silver and the copper. I've got my crazy green coins that I made. So they're not exact, but if you don't have one.
I'm laughing that you're just making coins now.
I know.
You're painting coins.
So in case, because some people are like, I don't have the green one. It's like, well, we don't sell the green one. We're not buying any more of them.
It's out of production. That's gone.
Out of production. But these two, they don't match exactly, which is kind of cool because nobody else will have them. There's only two of them in existence. I had the I don't remember if you saw the one earlier, Jesse. Is a black coin with a purple microphone. Yeah. That went to our last winner. So one of a kind. That's out the door. And
can you imagine somebody that's joined into this show and is like a brand new geocacher and you're like painting coins to give away? People are like, what is wrong with this?
What is going on?
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to be finding stuff in the woods.
Last but not least, I've got a shirt that was given to us by St. Jude. Thank you, St. Jude, for all you do. So it's play for more than bragging rights. Cannot get this shirt unless you're a member of, or you're a winner, or you give money to St. Jude.
So explain what that means on the front. Play for more than bragging rights.
Yeah. So we're categorized with sort of like all of the runners, the 5K and the 10K, half marathon donors who provide money for St. Jude. They're all kind of in a category. We're in a category with all of the gamers. So the gamers will have the t-shirt size is 2X.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
In case you win. That's Tony being very up on the because
he's ready to win.
He's ready to win. That's exactly what I was thinking. But yeah, so we're in the category of the gamers. So the gamers raise money for St. Jude, and the podcasters and the different YouTube shows, we're all kind of in one group. That's how we got that shirt.
All right. So
that's that.
Giving away stuff or talking about giving away stuff.
Yep.
Hashtag impossible.
There you go. And I think that is all the notes. Did you have something else to?
No, I think we're gonna jump because we always
jump right in
out of time at the end. So I want to jump right into the topic.
Yep. And then I've got Cash Fest.
Of course, the coins. Obviously.
Yeah. Those are cool. Available. So we're gonna tell people a little bit about tonight's topic before we and I'll give everybody kind of like we do on Puzzle Cache. I'll give you guys the GC codes as we go through them and discuss them. Kind of give people a synopsis, kind of what we're doing.
And I think we probably have the same definition of this one. We may have different opinions on it. We have the same definition of what they are. So impossible caches, and you've probably all seen them before. And there's no true definition of impossible cache, but we're talking about when somebody puts out a cache that, like, the norm is to put out a cache that's challenging and fun, but people are going to find it, right? You want them to find it and have fun with it. Well, there's a smaller subset of caches and cachers that put out caches that they don't want anybody to be able to find, right? We don't know that that's their actual true intention, but they put them out that are almost impossible to go find. So like, think back in the day, pre-moratorium, when they would put like a challenge could go out and there was no reason, like you could put a challenge out for anything, right? So find 1 million caches. Well, nobody can do that. The most prolific in the world have found like right over 200,000. So that's a challenge that nobody could go do, right? So there's no challenge like that, but it was things like that, right? Or the puzzle is almost impossible. And back in the day, they didn't even have to necessarily send in a solution like they do now. You have to send a solution to a puzzle. Usually if the reviewer asks for it, you got to know what the solution is, right?
Correct.
Or there's a group of people that put out caches that they take pride in the fact that nobody can find them for years and years.
Yes.
They're extremely hard. Or just like, there's a level, like there's 1 through 5 on difficulty. These are like a 25. So these are intentionally, obtuse, or, they're intentionally hard to find, extremely so, that involve great challenge or great peril or a really remote location or extremely hard puzzle. A lot of them are puzzles that you may just not know. Like, one person knows how to solve it, right? So that's what we're talking about, is those caches. Not just like that's kind of difficult. We're talking about like nobody's getting it. That kind of cache.
Yeah.
And of course, they're only impossible until they're solved, right? And somebody gets it, but they're impossible until then. They're only unfound until they're found. But we're talking about ones that fall into that category. And we're going to kind of talk about some of those examples and then both sides of it. Like hiding one, but also, I mean, the appeal of finding one and the appeal of hiding one. And is it good for the game or is it not? So we're going to try to reach all those points tonight in the limited time we have in the next 50 minutes. So
exactly. Well, yeah, we'll go through some of them, because I think, Jesse, the other thing we're going to find out is, that was interesting. Eric put down, I saw that. EDK PBR.
Conch shell horn was recently found, 22 years lonely. And we talked about we're not going to get into the whole webcam, so just don't even put that in the chat room. There was a webcam that was never found. It was found, and it was in Antarctica. We're not going to talk about that one. We're going to talk about other ones, right?
That was a disappointing one.
Yeah, it is what it is on that one, right? But
Yeah.
we're talking about that category of caches tonight, the impossible finds.
Well, hard to find, and Nicole B Genius is
Yes.
right. It
Yeah.
could be, yeah. I was thinking impossible to get to. We got some of the suggestions. We have some that are
Yes.
similar to that. Yeah, Jeff, throwdown. Yeah, we're going to talk about So, the one that Eric mentioned for our audio listeners was GC 105E. In case you want to look that one up, but also I think that there are some like this one. So we're going to start with this one. And the
Let's
reason
get
we're
some
starting with this
examples
one
to get it
was,
going.
yeah. So the first one we're going to look at is GC3A BHK, Altoid Bison Hike Kayak. Although no kayak for this one, just the name of it.
Maybe.
GC3 ABHK. Now, the reason I brought this one up is because the person who suggested that we do a show like this, Tiger Eye 1017, Jeff, he sent us an email suggesting that we possibly talk about this. So there's my shout out to everybody who's listening or watching tonight. geocachetalk@gmail.com. Send us your suggestions for future shows. So this one's called One Too Many People Standing Around. I'll share my screen and we'll talk briefly because we have a lot of them to get to tonight. But I want to talk about this one, and I want to get your take on what do you think is going on with this crazy
Here's
thing?
an interesting comment that Eric brought up too. He's been watching that one. I don't think it's really there. Now, there's always some controversy about that, and I've definitely got some opinions on that.
Correct.
But that doesn't necessarily apply to this one. Let's get into this one.
Well, I tend to agree with Eric on this one.
Okay.
When you look at the comments, but this one, but then again, I don't know. There's 62 people.
But remember that one at the
this.
shelter, only a few people had found it, and thousands or hundreds of people had not found it.
Oh yeah, it was
There's
probably
some hard hides out there.
Yeah, this one is in, pardon me,
Illinois.
Illinois. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I love that's a 4.5. It's not even a 5.
It's not even a 5. It's 4.5. 4.5 1, which means it should be wheelchair accessible.
It says wheelchair accessible in the attributes, so
yeah, it does. So they put that in correctly. It was hidden in 2012.
Jeez. Over 10 years ago.
11 years now. And they give you even a hint, no choices here. Having the ability to count and using the title may help end your frustrations. The troll had a photo of GZ. So you look at comments and people are like, well, it's a damage noticed on sections of GZ, and the person's complaining about that, this is too hard and it's not there anymore. In fact, Tiger Eye, who's suggested it, has a DNF. We did not see, and humbly added my name to the wall of shame. That's how you do a DNF.
Here's the interesting thing already. All right, so scroll back up for a second.
Okay.
All right. Look at, and I'm not picking on any cachers. I don't know who these cachers are, right? I don't know their story. But what does it say? Like GT Gina?
Yeah, I read hers.
She writes a big long note, but it's a right note. Why is it a right note and a not found?
Yeah, why didn't you do a DNF?
Why are we not doing a DNF there? We did really check the backside. I was losing daylight. That's a didn't find. That's a did not find.
Yeah, didn't find.
Tiger Eye did not find. If you scroll down, so how many DNFs do you have on this one in right notes?
There's 74 DNFs.
34 right notes. So how many of those 34 do you think actually should be DNFs?
Right, all of them probably. Yeah, see, the geocaching Facebook group brought me here. Wow, kind of makes me want to travel all the way.
That sounds like they didn't go out there. They're just writing a note and they're finding
just writing a note.
That sounds perfectly legitimate.
Yeah.
Didn't find. Right note.
The 9-year mark of my first DNF here. So they DNF'd it already.
That is a note. Yeah, they DNF'd it before.
Right. I have been informed this cache is not a forum.
Well, and what they mean by that too is like they ran into in the other one. People would write notes on there, and it'd become like a little discussion board, and they really don't like you to do that.
And that's what they did. It was a bunch of write notes for that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. We're gonna move on, but do you think this one's really there?
I have no idea.
Well, we don't.
Could it be? But... Absolutely. Geocachers are amazing in what they come up with, how creative they can be. Now, on the other side of that, geocachers are amazing in what they can do to find a cache.
Mm-hmm.
You know, would somebody hide a cache or allegedly hide a cache, and it not be out there and publish it just so people couldn't find it? Yes, they absolutely would. I will not call the person's name out, but if you're listening, you know who you are. But there was a cacher that I know that he tried to hide his and make his super hard. They were up in the mountains. It was hard, right?
Right.
And when people would find it, it would make him mad, and he would go and move it a little bit.
Right.
Now, he didn't change the coordinates or the puzzle. He would just move it to make it a little harder to find. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I don't know. And I'm like, I guess people get off on they're smarter than everybody else, and they're that much better of a cacher, and nobody can find my caches if I don't want them to, kind of deal. Whatever. That's, you know, I don't really get that appeal for me, but I understand why people are shooting for that, right? I'm that much better than you. You can't find this. I'm smart. I'm the best puzzler in the world, which I'm not. Oh, gosh. But, you know, or I'm the best whatever in the world, which I'm not. But, so anyway, I know there are people out there that are, unscrupulous and will do weird things like that to try to stroke their own ego.
Yes.
I'm not saying this one is. I don't know anything about that cache. I just looked at it tonight for the first time.
Yeah. So here is a completely different approach, or a whole different impossible cache to talk about tonight. So we're going to now look at GC4Z, or for Jeff, Z, and all our Canadian friends. GC4Z AP4. Yeah.
I'm laughing at this, and I might have to use this again. She says, I have a cache I have been to 3 times. It's a 5 difficulty. It makes me want to shoot a bunny in the butt. I don't necessarily know what that means.
Did you see Christy's comment after that?
Yeah. Hashtag save the bunny butt.
Save the bunny butt.
I don't know what that means, but it's hilarious. So I may have to put that in a cache somewhere just to see if anybody catches it.
I love that. So the next one we're going to look at GZ4, Z as in zone, A as in Altoid, P as in puzzle, and the number 4. So this one is a
cool DC code.
Yeah, GC4Z AP4, not quite. Oh yeah, well, Facebook, one of our people with zero hide shouldn't be allowed to be critical when logging other people's caches. Yeah, people with zero hides.
That goes off in a total different subject, but I agree.
That's for another show on the show.
Log etiquette is one we can talk on all day long, right?
Yes.
And I'm just as guilty of that as everybody else. Like, I'll look on, and if it's a DNF by somebody that's got like 50 fines, I'm like, I don't even take that into account. I'm like, you don't have enough experience for it not to be there. Now, if I see a DNF that's like 10,000 fines or 100,000 fines, I'm like, challenge accepted. I'm going to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I definitely want to get that TFDC after that.
Absolutely.
All right, pull up the next cache. Yeah.
This one, Natural Arch. And this is a whole different kind of impossible cache. And I don't know.
Cache in Utah?
What was that?
Is this the Earth cache in Utah?
No, this is a traditional, but it's in Alberta, Canada. And I love our Canadian listeners and viewers. I really do. I mean, I've some of the
Sounds like
greatest
there's a
folks
butt
I've
coming
met
here.
caching. No, there's no butt. There's no bunny butt on this.
No bunny butt on this
But
one. Okay.
I want to do a caveat on this, which is, why is this one so hard to find? And then somebody's gonna go, don't you know this area? Don't you know this part of Alberta? I mean, come on.
And the answer is no, we don't.
No, we don't. That's what we're
We
saying.
don't know that area.
I do know that I did some research on this one, and I do know that there are some even caveats to try to find it. You have to go at a certain time of year.
Oh gosh.
There are,
and it's a 5-5. So, oh, look at that!
It's a 5-5. I know, isn't it pretty? Hit a cache at the only viewpoint for the natural arch on the Blue Creek Trail during a backpacking trip with my son. While the location is not technically difficult to reach, the multi-day approach will take planning, route finding, determination, and a valid backcountry camping permit. So yes, you do have to get a backcountry camping permit.
I like it.
From the Jasper National Park Trail Office. That gives you the information. To make life easier, I freely divulge the cache in a tree. And there he is. There's the cache. He even shows it to you.
Yeah.
He shows you the cache.
Spot, right? So that's getting there.
Yeah, I mean, there it is. He even shows it. It's like, there's the cache. He's pointing to it.
Oh, somebody's saying 62 kilometers one way. Is that what it says?
Did it say 62 kilometers one way? Maybe down further. Let me see.
Yeah, somebody says 62 kilometers one way.
While the cache is high enough off the ground to be considered winter friendly, the same cannot be said for the sign. This area of the park is closed to all human use from November through February. Oh yeah. We hiked in from Rock Lake using the Willow Creek North Boundary and Blue Creek trails, 62 kilometers one way to the cache. Trails open to hikers and horseback riders. You can ride a horse. I mean, come on. I must admit that the horse camps along the trail are much better than the hiker camps. Happy map dreaming. It's sort of a weird way to put it. This dog made it. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you Canadians? Come on. I'm just kidding. So.
Well, that one can stay like that for a long time though, right?
Yeah. Never been found. It was, when was it? It was published in 2013. It has
almost 10 years, probably.
No DNFs. Notice there's no DNFs. There's 3 write notes, and he had to enable it twice because it got archived, or temporarily he disabled it. Sorry. There's write notes. Somebody actually put more information on there.
But I mean, a 40-mile hike is one of those that's I understand why nobody is finding that one.
Yeah. What a cool trip.
Really 40. I mean, like, you got to get back out. So 80 miles round trip, right?
Right.
Or 124 kilometers.
Jesus.
We're in a helicopter.
DSK-11 is rent a helicopter. If you get permission, I don't know where you can land it.
Could you host an event out there?
Yes. Can't you?
I don't know.
See, that's for another show too.
Yeah, that's for another show. We can talk about crazy events on a show for sure. I've tried some of those myself.
I wish we could bring back the D5 T5. You can do a T5.
You can do a T5. You can't do a D anything. Events need to be a T1 D1. No, they don't.
They do not.
Because you can do events at the top of a mountain and in the middle of the lake and everything else. So
yeah, you could do one where
the T can be all kinds of stuff. The D has to be a 1.
Yeah, the D has to be a 1. The T does not.
And there's a lot of CETO events that involve kayaking.
Yeah,
so those are definitely not T1s.
Paddling down the river is possible. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would hate for them to limit events to D1, T1. That'd be terrible. That means every event would be at a coffee shop, and that would be no good.
Shout out to Paul, aka None of It Tidy. Greetings from Prince Rupert, North British Columbia. So thanks for being with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul. Good patron. Yeah, Christy's correct.
Yeah,
we know.
that is correct.
Yep, we're correct. Yep.
But you can host one in the area of one for sure.
Yeah, right. Can't host an event specifically just to find a cache, but you can do one nearby. So that would be
now.
An
what
event.
The funny thing would be is to hide 528 feet down the trail, hide another one, and then leave.
Right.
After everybody leaves and get home from that event, the 80-mile round trip, then there's another cache out there.
Nice. Love it. All right. On to the next. So
now that one, I want to put that in its own category. That was a legitimate, it's an impossible find, but it's not because somebody was just being mean. It's remotely in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they gave you the exact location of the cache, and they pointed to it in a picture.
Yeah.
So that's not just like some weird puzzle, like, from some manual of a job you used to work 10 years ago that nobody can ever solve again. That's a legitimate, like, hardy trail hike cache. That's just a rugged cache is all that is, in my opinion. Now, extremely rugged, but
extremely rugged.
I have no issue with that one at all.
That's a whole.
I'm jealous, and I want to go get it myself.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a cool trip. Yeah, Paul's like, oh, that's cruel.
I've done it before, but we'll get into that another day too.
All right. Speaking of other impossible caches, we're gonna look at GC2W 8B as in boy 5. It's called
This reminds me of that
Star.
game we played for. What was the name of your game?
Oh, GC World.
Yeah.
Like
you're about to read, and I'm like, this one's gonna be in so and so. It's cache. Yeah.
Brave Star. Yeah, where is that? Yeah, Christmas. Christmas cache. People go North Pole.
Yeah,
like
Florida. Yep. Florida's oldest.
Yeah, where is that? This one's in Utah. And tell me what you think about this crazy thing. I'm trying to give you. Obviously, we're looking at a lot of variations.
Yes,
we looked at a couple traditionals. Now we're looking at a mystery cache that DMM Rex says. I think he was talking about the last one. That one's a quality cache, rather than a sidewalk cache.
I agree with her 100%. That is a 100% quality cache. It's just hard to physically get to. It's not like obscure.
Right. No, it's different. I mean, right. We threw them in for tonight. It's a
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're not saying impossible caches are bad. That's not what we're saying right now. We're just talking about kind of examples of them.
No, and we'll make some conclusions at the end before we do our giveaway, which, by the way, is #impossible.
Yes,
is the thing you want to put in. Not agree with Memphis, although we do agree with Memphis some of the time.
Sometimes you shouldn't always agree with me, because I don't even always agree with me.
I would say most of the time I agree with you, my friend. So we want to put in,
and this is a 4.5 we're going over, right? So still not a 5.5.
No, still not a 5.5.
I love it, because 4.5s are harder to find.
There it is. I'll use Eric as example. #impossible tonight. Please put that in, and you will be entered to win all the things I mentioned earlier on in the show. So this one is a 4.5, which I think is a fairly that's a good one to hide too, right? That's really for another show, right?
Yeah, the 4.5 you see more of, but like the 4.5, 5, you don't see it, or vice versa. You don't see as many of those.
Right.
When one's off.
A lot of times it's the last one that a fizzy grid needs if somebody's trying to do a fizzy grid.
Yeah.
I think that was your last one too, wasn't it? Was a 4.5, 5 or something?
No, mine was a 4.5. No, a 1, 4.5.
Oh, 1 difficulty, but a 4.5 terrain. Right.
Yeah. Which was, I had to go out of state to find one.
Yeah.
And I lived in Colorado, so you would think there, you'd find that somewhere, but nope.
This one, Hallie went up the tree for you.
Yeah.
With
So you can
part of the
see it.
team.
You see it from like 50 feet away.
Right.
But you had to climb way up in a tree to get it. So it legitimately met the rating.
Right. So it fit the thing. All right. Brave Star.
Oh, I
Brave
remember
Star,
that show.
American
That
Space
cartoon.
Western. Yeah. American Space Western animated television series. The original episodes aired from September, blah, blah, blah. He gives you some information. Shouldn't say blah, 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 but you get the idea. More info about this Texas colony inhabited predominantly by humans, but also by various aliens and robots. So finding this cache, parts of the coordinates for this cache are hidden in the other 4 caches in the series. So it's this is sort of like a bonus or a, yeah. Is that still legal?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bonus caches are absolutely legal.
Yeah.
You can't daisy chain them.
I guess this is, no, you can't daisy them. Right. But
you can do this anytime. You can do this right now today. Find 4 caches and then have the bonus. It's got to be a mystery cache. Then bonus has to be a mystery.
Right. So you
see them every day with the adventure caches, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So they even tell you the caches that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
This was hidden in 2011.
So have the other caches been found?
That's a good question. I'm going to look at that here in 1 second. So I do want to make a comment that this seems to be kind of, well, now here's the trick though. This is it's probably the cache is not this coordinates, right? They don't mention it. So we don't know.
It's not those coordinates, so
probably not those coordinates.
But this is the bonus cache. So this is a little different than the other ones. So you got to find 4 other ones first. I'd be curious to see what the other ones are.
So we're gonna look at the next one, which is Strength of the Bear. It's a 4.5, 4.5.
How was the bonus a 4.5, 4.5? You got to find other ones that are 4.5, 4.5, but whatever.
Right. So this one, Hollow Log.
Has this been found? Only 2 people have found this one.
Twice. Pardon me. So 2 people have found it. Actually, the same group found it.
They found it together. Yeah.
They found it together. This was been on my radar for some time. They found it back in 2020. So
check one of the other ones and see if they found those too.
Yeah, so let's go back. And
so this is an interesting. Now, first of all, as you're pulling this up, I'm going to give my comments on this because, to me, this is like the ultimate geocaching adventure.
Yeah.
This one particularly, right? Now, I like the one that was a traditional way out in the middle of nowhere too. But this one is a bonus cache and 4 what I'm assuming are very hard caches to find. And then you have to do something to find the bonus cache. So, you get it with a couple buddies. You find these extremely hard caches, which you probably, I'm assuming, can't find all at one time. You go out, do these trips. To me, that is like in my head, like, you've seen those memes, like what my mom thinks geocaching is, what I think geocaching is, what my friends think. To me, in my head, this is what I want geocaching to be. These extreme adventures that build into something that nobody's been able to do yet. And I find 4 of them, and we have a group dedicated to just finding this one cache. And we're the people that are going to find it first. And you go out and you find this first one. Then you have your clues. It's like, what's the island, the show that me and you talk about all the time, where they're trying to find the gold on the island?
Yeah, the Curse of Oak Island. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, Curse of Oak Island. Like, you have a whole team and you got a board and you're going to find this cache. You come back and you put all your stuff on there. I think they're talking about this. And then you find the next cache and you're like, this changes everything. One of those things. And then you finally, like, after like a couple years, well, this one they found in 2020. It was published in 2011. So that's a huge amount of time.
It is. Daryl says
it up like that, right? That's
3
to me, 4. That's the epitome of what's awesome about geocaching.
I agree. Here's a comment that they put on the cache by the owner, by the cache owner. He says, Coordinates for each attribute cache are broken up into north and west coords. No two cache coordinate parts are in the same place. There is only one copy of each out currently, but I must put out more in the future. I've been a bit short on time. This was in 2011. He wrote this. This will probably be during my coordinates for the final cache are on the log sheets of the attribute caches. So these are the attribute caches. So this one is Ears of the Wolf. That's probably east.
Yeah.
Southeast. Oh, they don't fit. Darn. I was hoping it would be.
Well, southeast, there's two, south and east and south. So that may be parts of the south and east. Like they're reversing it, right? Like they're instead of north and west, which in that area would be north and west coordinates, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that has to do with the finals. Of course, we're guessing.
Yeah. Because I think you have to solve the puzzle too. I think cache is not at the postal coordinates, so you're gonna have to solve the puzzle for these as well,
based on the information you grab from each of those. I like that.
Yeah.
See, to me, that's the ultimate geocaching adventure. Like something you can talk about for a long time before you ever get it done.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, they're findable, or at least they were in 2016.
It just hasn't been happened yet.
Yeah.
What is it? The Lost Cache of Forgotten Gulch, right? Isn't that it?
Yes, that's it.
That's right.
The guy, kind of Billy Finder.
Yes.
Yeah, Billy Finder was going to find that one. But he's now part of the contents of that cache.
That's right.
If people don't know what we're talking about, go check out Travel Bugs Music.
Who's been active again lately?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, he's got some stuff going on YouTube. Check it out for sure.
I'm so glad we had him on CacheCon back a couple years ago during the pandemic. He did a whole show for us, a whole live show. So,
and if anybody knows, my family is big fans of Travel Bugs. So anytime we can plug them, we're going to, because I love their music.
Oh,
I say they're awesome.
Yeah, well, yeah. He makes it look like there's more than one.
He does.
Well, he's had some friends help from Belgium too. They were part of the. All right, next one, GC2 PDRC. Paul, David, Richard, Chelsea. Curse.
That is no language anybody's ever used before.
Yeah, I know. That's not the standard military.
We get it.
All right. Let's take a look at this guy. Get your opinion on the Sinner's Swing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 3.5, 4. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
It's in Alaska.
Well, there you go, right there.
It has been found has never been found. It's out there since 2010.
So we're going to be going up on 13 years of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Put in your hashtag impossible tonight to possibly win a coin or a shirt or any of that. Happy Hodag
be like at the post office there and nobody's found it. It's Alaska.
No, nobody's ever attempted it. That's pretty funny. Nobody's even commented on it, right? Let me see.
Well, how remote is it? I mean, that's the question.
Yeah, nobody's ever look. There's not even a right note. Like, I might go try to find this cache. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, that's why. It's on Esther Island.
That's kind of why I picked this one, because
there probably hadn't even been anybody there since then.
Right. So let's look at the terrain. Let me pull the coordinates and let's go try to look at the terrain on this puppy. I like these. I like the idea of these. Tell me your thoughts on.
Read the description real quick, because there's some funny comments going on. I don't know if these are true or not.
Nestled in between two peaks, north end of the lake bay at Esther Island, small bowl of granite, gently cradling a small lake. the apex of its nameless body of water is as a treasure beyond compare. Get yourself there. As you move towards the back of the bay, you'll see two larger peaks,
Somebody
smaller
says
hills.
the owner doesn't remember what the container was.
As I recall, the gift is small, a pill bottle perhaps, whitish. You will need to bring a pen, I think. Good luck. Message me if you find this, as I do not expect to return to this location.
So here's the thing. Okay, I got a problem. Here's a problem.
Okay.
Now, basic 101 geocache maintenance means you plan to return to it and check on it. He admitted fully that he's never coming back to this cache.
Oh my gosh.
Why would the reviewer let that publish?
I know, but
this guy, according to somebody, Andrea says the CEO only has 2 finds. They're publishing something in the middle of nowhere that might send people out there. They don't remember what the container was. And on top of that, they clearly admitted they're going to break the rules in the posting.
This is a good reason why
let that happen.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, I'm just going to entitle one Throwdown and see if they'll let me. There's this trash that I had in my house. I put it under a bush somewhere along this road. Go get it. I'm not coming to check and see if you actually signed it.
How is it that the armchair cachers that are out there that we all know of, how have they not found this cache and logged it? Because there's plenty of them. There's plenty of
because nobody would ever dispute it, right?
No one's ever going to dispute this one.
Here's what you should do. I mean, don't do this, but here's what you should do if you're a cheater. Set up 2 accounts.
Right.
On one account, your real account, go, I found it. About a month later, with your fake account, go, I was inspired by this guy. I went out there and it's missing. Archive it. Nobody could ever dispute you, and then you got it, right? That's crazy fine. Oh, Dina said she's logging it now.
There's no Street View. Who's logging it?
Dina Williams Pruitt says she's logging it now. I love that.
Logging it now. That's
how funny it would be if we had about 100 people jump on there and log it right now.
And then put a needs archived.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
We were there for an unofficial event. Watch the Geocache talk. Can I post a needs maintenance log on this? You could. And we didn't really get into that last time, but I believe I'm going to be more diligent now after our last show of, like, if they're not in there, I'm going to start putting needs maintenance on it. Christy, I'm there with you. If I was dropped off anywhere near, I'd be going for that Joker.
If they drop you off, you better tell them to hold that helicopter for you, because from what it looks like, let's see.
There's nothing around it.
Let me tell you, let's do a quick directional to the nearest town. Where's the nearest town? The heck? Oh my gosh. Hang on. Let me go with okay.
Now what's interesting is, do you think that was ever even out there in the first place?
There's Anchorage. Okay, no, wait, there's that's a good question. I think it was, but then again, he doesn't give any details. So
could you absolutely hide one of these and never have been there?
You could go to Big Irv's famous Alaskan Charters, which is right there.
Yeah.
And let me find so let's do
Big Irv would take you out there.
And you could tell Big Irv, I want to go.
Yeah. Look at this. So Joanne, who was at Bamarama,
19 miles.
She retrieved a TB at Bamarama that wants to go to Esther Island. If anybody's going, let her know. Let them know. So there you go. There you go. You can go get the first to find. Imagine putting a trackable in that one. How wrong
Please
would
don't.
That be?
Right. How wrong would that be? Caching with CAJ Erman says the nearest cache to that one has 3 finds.
So that's 2025 Cache Fest Alaska, right? We can go out there and
Yeah.
Is that we're
Now,
planning on
there's where you
Cache
can
Fest
have that.
Alaska?
Yeah.
Has there ever been a
Find
mega
extra
in Alaska?
Cache Fest. Good question.
If anybody knows that. Yep, look. Pizza Ninja beat me to it. Cache Fest Alaska.
Cache Fest Alaska, exactly. So if you notice, to get from Irv's, what was it called? Irv's famous Alaskan charters. It takes you 19 miles
In
to
Alaskan
get
waters.
from there to this cache.
So this is perfect. This is a perfect time
Right.
to like get into our questions about
Across
this, right?
across the bay.
We'll run out of time if we don't.
Yeah.
So the appeal of finding one of these is undeniable. Every single one of us listening right now would love to go and be the first to find on that one, right? For one, we would automatically bring you on the show to interview because it'd be an awesome story. But
absolutely.
You know, I've found some caches. I've never found anything that's not been found in 20 years. You know, in the middle of the Alaskan like tundra, or you know, the outback in Australia, or you know, some crazy area like that. But that seems awesome to me. That seems really awesome. Again, so let's assume for a minute this is above board, and that's actually out there.
Yeah.
I consider that in the same category as that other one we looked at, where it's just remote. It's not a trick, right? There's no trick to it. It's not fake.
Right.
Assuming. I put that in a different category than the people that are intentionally hiding the puzzles that can't be solved. No, and we didn't really get into a lot of those tonight, but there's some puzzles out there that have just not been solved in a long time. And to me, those are in a different category. But the opposite side of that, and let me ask what you think, because you already know my story kind of on this one, but do you see the appeal of having one of these caches that goes 5-10 years with nobody finding it? Would you want to do that?
No. Although I like the appeal of it. Well,
would you want to own a cache that people cannot find, and it's taken 19 years for them to find it?
I don't. I don't think I'm the right person for that.
See, so I'll give a short version of my story because I've talked about it before, but
you'd like those, right?
I would. Like ones like now, depends on what it was. So there was a time, and I've mentioned it before on the show, so we're not going to go into the long story of it, right? But there was me and a buddy of mine, Bearsaur, up in Colorado. We kind of got into a little competition with another team, that Ice Zebra and Denali 41. So first of all, I'm going to fully admit before I say any of this, they are better cachers than us. They beat us in every respect. They're twice our age, not actually, but they're twice our age and twice the cacher we are. They can do things that we can't do. I don't know why we got into competition with these guys. It was stupid, but we did. We tried to hide impossible caches that they could not find.
Right.
Like, I mean, insane things like you had to have 8 people in a geomob in the middle of a lake that only opened at midnight. And then go to another location where you projected something up into the trees where there's no cell service. And we hid like a little tag up in these trees where you have no GPS signal. There's like 100 trees in the area. You have to climb them all and then do some calculations and do all this other crap. I mean, it was stupid and nobody should have been able to find them. Every one of them they found. And now nobody else ever found them, you know, but every one of them they found. And I was like, you are kidding me. So that was fun. But I had a specific target for that, right? It wasn't like nobody's ever going to find this. Now, did anybody else find those? Not necessarily. Very rarely. But these took a lot of work. And it was really hard intentionally. There were some things that were vague. And it involved hiking and climbing and projections and all kinds of stuff. That little bit of that was appealing because we had fun and we had a direct like response to it. Having said that, if I was able to get a trip to Alaska and I knew I was going to that area or some really remote area, would I want to? Now I know that doesn't meet rules, whatever. Let's just take that aside for a minute. Would I want to be able to hide 12 caches in the extreme terrain,
Right.
draw the attention of people like this one 11 years later. I mean, imagine there's one out there. Imagine 12 of them out there.
Oh, wow.
That would draw a lot of people.
Yeah.
Would I be excited every day that somebody didn't find that? Yes, I would. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, that'd be the only cache I would watch. I would probably get rid of the rest of mine and just watch that one cache.
Just watch the one.
But I mean,
that's good.
The thrill of like people getting excited. It's like Finn's treasure, right? Like people are really working on it, and it's hard, and there's no way to get there, and there's all these false leads and all this other stuff. I do see how that would be exciting. Now, not if it was just a puzzle that I put out there and nobody can solve it. That's boring to me.
Right.
But if it's like an extreme terrain and a puzzle to go with it, and you have people making some progress towards it, 100%, I would love to have that impossible cache, right? You know, you can't tell me you wouldn't want to have like oh crap, what was the name of it? I can't remember the name of it. We interviewed the guy that was in the park. Everybody tried to go find it, the impossible one. The shelter. I'm drawing a blank.
A lot of people call it the shelter.
The shelter, yeah. I don't know if that was the official name of it or not, but the shelter, right?
Yeah,
you have to love that. Watching DNF after DNF, knowing it's there.
Right.
So the appeal of hiding one of those makes sense.
Yeah,
to me.
There you go. Thank you, Hodeg. Yeah, Mother's Challenge.
Mother's Challenge, yeah. So now, in general, do I want a bunch of those out there? No, because that's terrible for the game.
Yeah.
But do I want some of those out there? 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
There needs to be some out there that are hard to impossible to find, so that there's some kind of allure. You know, there's still some mystery left to happen in the game, right? It's not all LPCs. And although I just posted a picture of the day of me being happy as I could be to find an LPC because it was a cash run, a county run. And I 100% was happy for that thing, man. I was super happy.
Trust me. Yes.
But there's also that elusive cache that you want to be able to find too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, and imagine someone finally finding it. Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah. Well, and thinking back now, you asked me that question, and I'm going to kind of take back what I said, because one of the things we did the GT stash a few years ago, and we hid, was it 6?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I think we had 6, and we hit it, and people couldn't even go look for it for at least 6 months because we were busy trying to get all the, and then we put out clues, and then eventually 5 of the 6 were found, or 6 of the 7, I think. The cache that Charles found was hidden up in a tree, is in Arizona, and it had been there so long that the side that faced the sun was white.
And we had one that was never found too, didn't we?
Yeah. We had one that was hidden in California, and unfortunately, I think that the road maintenance took that one out.
Yeah, that's true.
But that cache in Arizona, that bright red bison tube had been there so long that the side of it facing the sun was white. I don't know if Charles kept it or not, but those were fun.
It is. And to me, it's amazing to find a cache that people can actually not find, because cachers are amazing. The abilities and the skills of cachers out there that we've met, you and I have met these people.
Yeah.
It's shocking to me when you can have a cache.
Yeah. Houston, Texas Dave found the one that was in Arkansas.
That's right. So that people can't find. It's amazing that you can even do that, unless there's a trick to it, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's just one of those that it's so far out remote, people just aren't wanting to try.
Right.
But
right.
I don't know. I guess the impossible cache to me, I think, is extremely important to geocaching in an extremely limited number. Like, you don't want a lot of them being impossible to find.
Right.
Like, if even like 3% of caches were impossible to find, it would hurt the game, I think. I think that extremely small percentage of them is impossible. I think that's really good, because it's that elusive white whale, the one that got away. It's that Finn's treasure. It's that kind of deal that keeps the excitement alive, but that's not the majority of the game.
No. There's a real allure to those kind of caches. Well, we joke we discuss and we mention this one. You mentioned this one too, because we always talk about this is one of our one of our most fun DNFs. You and I went to try to find the cache on the railroad trestle, and we get out there and we're searching and we're trying to grab spikes and looking, and we never found it. But what a crazy experience that was.
Oh yeah. And that's a good one too, because it could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of fear because it's not extremely stable.
Had to be real careful. Yeah. We had to
So you're like, oh my gosh, do I keep looking? What do I do? And so those, but to me, I had just as much fun on that DNF as I've had on some of the caches. That was probably the most fun cache we had that whole weekend, and we didn't find it.
Yeah. The whole time.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yes.
So
yes.
All in all, what's your verdict on impossible caches? Good for the game, bad for the game? What do you think?
I definitely agree with you. I think that they're good for the game in limited quantities.
Yes.
Now, I don't, and this is hard because we both have seen caches that have been placed deliberately so that they're not found, which drives me insane because I think that's horrible for the game. There's plenty of them out there we've all seen where people put out a puzzle that nobody can solve, and legitimately nobody can solve it because there's no answer. They just thought it'd be funny. They snicker when anybody tries to find it, or they try to solve the puzzle and they ask the owner for help, and the owner just does the little snidely laugh, and then they just go, "Oh, I'm not helping you," and then they laugh and they go on their merry way. I don't like those. I like the ones that have an adventure behind it. For example, Mother's Challenge. Ironically, he archived after it was found a few times because he didn't. His point was he wanted to be kind of hard.
Yeah, I get that, right? It's only a challenge until it's found a few times, and then the way things are nowadays, that's just going to get out everywhere.
Yeah, and he showed, or one of them showed where it was, and that's kind of an oddball one. Some of those are kind of oddball. I do like Jim. Yeah, it was on a not an active railroad trestle, by the way. It had been abandoned for a long time. There was no trains going along this one. Trust me, there was plenty of things missing that would not have allowed a train across that thing.
Although oddly enough, I have gone to a cache before that was really close to an active train track,
which I don't think you're supposed to put.
No, and I sent in a message immediately. I was like, "This is not a good plan."
Yeah, not supposed to put it that close.
25 feet from an active train track.
No, that's too close. Yeah,
and the reviewer didn't have that on their map or whatever, so they got rid of it immediately. But I was like, "You cannot send kids here." It was one of those
And we definitely discourage hiding on railroad, even abandoned railroad tracks, because from what I've been told, even if it's abandoned, that's still private property unless you have permission. You have to go get permission on that one.
Don't make me laugh. So. Permission. Come on.
Yeah, permission. That's for another show. Direwolf.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse's don't me. You can Jesse. He was out there. He knows. That was a little scary, and the fact that I wasn't scared about falling off of it. I was more scared about having my leg go between the thing and snap. You're gonna have to air flight me out of there.
There's an easy path to injury where we were. Now we were fine. Definitely. We were totally cool. We did it. A
lot of things missing.
But it was fun.
Yeah, we're up across the part of that river and stuff, but no. So I would say that I like them in small quantities. What is your thought on those as we start to get
100%? I think they're awesome for the game in small quantities, right? Now, a lot of that has to do with reviewers nowadays too, right? Like a reviewer would probably not allow that cache that we just looked at, the Alaska one, to be published today. Because one, the guy said he's never going to go out and check on it again. Two, it's remote and he cannot maintain it. You know what I mean? So it's you can't put out a cache for no reason. That's litter. If you intend to never go back, that's just litter, right? That's not a cache. Now, could you put a puzzle out somewhere that's kind of remote, but you can still get to it and make it very, very hard or difficult, or a multi-cache or something like that? Yes, absolutely. And should those exist in the game? 100%, right?
Yeah.
A Where Go might be one of those that you would do where it's extremely remote, but it would shy people away. They'd be kind of scared of it, you know? Letterbox is another one that you would do out like that.
Letterbox is a cool one, yeah.
You still got to be able to get out there and maintain it, but I think, and again, a small percentage, right? But I would encourage people to, if they're hiding, let's say the average hider that's really active in the game, like our people, right?
Yeah.
They may have 25 hides out there at one time. I'm not talking about power trail hides. I'm talking about real legitimate hides.
Right.
25 active hides. They've probably hidden hundreds over the years, but 25 active hides, let's just say for an average. It's okay to make one of those extremely hard. Put the other 24 normal fun finds, you know, gadget caches and all the other stuff, but make one of them extremely hard so there is that elusive white whale for people to go after. I think that's very good for the game.
Yeah. No, I agree. Cool. Well, we're wrapping up.
We got to give away the prize.
We're giving away the prize. Yep, absolutely. I was just letting people know. Please put in hashtag impossible, and you want to do it in the next 30 seconds because we're going to have one.
Let me put mine in real quick because I want to win that double XL shirt.
Yeah, there you go. The 2X. You're probably not. You're in pretty good shape now. You're down to an XL now, probably.
I'm down to just an XL. Yeah, I cut down from 2X. I can't stay up that big anymore.
Well, yeah, I understand.
That's unhealthy for me.
Yeah. All right. So let me bring up the screen, and we will get this show on the road again. Yeah, it'll be rigged. Well, Jesse can't win. Last week we had Geocache Talk win, which we can't have. So
that's
funny. We just spin the wheel again.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, if you have any suggestions for our show on Thursday or any of the shows, send a note to geocachetalk@gmail.com, and we will take it under advisement. And
we'll do the research.
We will look into it, and then we will see. Pizza Ninja says the next vault clue may be coming after the show.
Oh, all right.
So stay tuned for that.
I'm excited for my first one to come out that hasn't yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't yet, but it will.
I'm excited for that too. The vault, for those that are wondering, we're giving away the contents of a giant vault at Cache Fest, and you have to find a key in GeoTribe 5. We're not telling you where the keys are.
Find the Midwest, right?
Any keys coming to the Midwest? Maybe. I don't know. We can't tell you that.
What would you define as the Midwest?
Yeah, what is Midwest? All right, here.
B&J Bish, Florida loves keys so much we name our island Keys.
That's right. Exactly correct.
There's a good chance there could be one down there.
Oh, how funny!
Here.
Cole says that. Yeah, there's one key in Alaska on Easter Island. Yeah. So Hughes texted Dave says there's one in Easter Island. Go find it. Go get it. Midwest equals Missouri. That's I hear you. All right, let's get this going. Let me push the button and let's see who won the prize tonight. Here we go. Oh, there you go. Who could it be? Step up and win. Step up and win.
She's showing up in there.
I know.
Andrea Meeks.
Andrea is our way to go, and you're the winner. So send us an email to
And which
geocachetalk
prize
at
you want.
gmail.com and which prize you want. And if you don't remember, send me a note in there and I will remind you of what our geocachetalk at gmail.com. Send us your suggestions for future shows. And Andrea, send us an email to geocachetalk at gmail.com and we will get a prize out to you shortly. And we will see everybody Sunday. I think Sunday, let me double check. Sunday is that would be a Gadget Talk.
Oh, Gadget Talk again.
So
All right.
the Gadget Talk boys are back. So there you go. And again, we'll see you all in the future. Let us know. And I'll remove this.
Yeah.
And
What weird stuff do we need to get into?
Yeah. What weird stuff do we want to do on the next deep dive?
I still want to deep dive into waymarks. I just don't want to do the research to do it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's not one that we're excited about, but we want to talk about at some point. So, all right, good deal. All right, good night, everybody.